Hey guys, Sean from Less Lethal for Dummies. Today I wanted to do a video. I received a package from Daniel at Zram. And Daniel, I wanted to say thank you very much for sending it. So he sent me some chocolate wafer, whammer. It's obviously in German, so I'm probably mispronouncing it. Manner is what it is. So got some chocolate wafers. Hopefully I get to those before my wife does. But he also sent me some of his new silicone bumpers for the M17. These are going to be good for so many reasons, and I'll explain them kind of the short of it. So I've already taken the liberty of pulling my heat core assembly out of my M17. You didn't think I was going to show you those springs yet, did you? So this is what it looks like when you pull it out. So I'm going to pull the bolt off. You can see here, I am running three bumpers, three of the factory M17 bumpers. Like I said in my video, this is sort of my new thing. Instead of going overkill with the bumpers, I've been managing some of the issues with spring. But that's for another video. So these bumpers serve twofold for us guys in M17. One is obviously to cushion the rebound. So picture this bolt coming flying back, and obviously you don't want metal on metal contact here, but these factory bumpers are quite hard, and what you want is this bolt to kind of thud against this, you know, like a dead blow hammer almost. You don't want it to hit these hard rubber bolt bumpers so hard that this can travel so fast that it actually misses your sear. So I'll show you in a sec, these guys here. Another reason we use multiple bumpers in an M17 is actually for spring preload. And this serves a lot of purposes, you know, trying to rectify auto fire, bump fire, to name a couple. And there were times I was running as many as six bumpers on my bolt. And so far, I've found it unnecessary to go that high. So one of the issues with the M17, these bumpers, is you get one in your coming out of the box, and that's perfect. That'll get you going. But if you were of the mindset where we were adding multiple bumpers up to say six, you had to buy an actual heat core rebuild kit, and it included, I think, two of these, and then included the O-ring for your piston and the O-ring seal for the actual chamber itself. So really, you got a lot of extra O-rings you didn't need when all you wanted was the bolt bumper. So now we have an option, and it is these silicone guys here that Daniel has sent from Zram. So you can see they are quite squishy, and they're like a little bit sticky. I mean, and see that it's stuck to the bag. So the theory behind this is, well, because it's so squishy, it's going to act more like a dead blow hammer instead of a hammer hitting a piece of steel. And these bumpers do form some shock absorption. Let's take one off here. But they are not squishy like this guy. So what I want to do here is I'm gonna mic one of these guys, one of the factory bumpers here. I'm gonna do it in metric. I know you guys hate me for that, but hey, that's Canada for you. So unofficially, oh, I should have zeroed these. Factory bumper. I got 1.27 millimeters. Now these are probably stamped, so I'm guessing they're not very precise. Let's try another guy here. 1.21. 1.27. So we're gonna call them 1.25 millimeters, just to round it off. Take the average. So we have 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter, 3 millimeter, 3.75 millimeters. Oh, jeez. Yay, I can do math. Let's just double check what I got here. Let's see how close I was. Oh, I was pretty close. So the calibers aren't terrible. 3.78 millimeters is what I'm running with these three bumpers. And if you follow the videos, that's probably what you're running to. So let's mic one of these guys here. So I'll zero it out. So they're just under 2.94 millimeters. Let's grab another one here. .93. I'm being careful not to squish them too hard because clearly you could skew your measurements here. We'll do one more. Oop. And we got a 3.18. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think that's critical. And like I said, these are squishy now. So without being picky, I'm just gonna pick one out of there. And based on Daniel's recommendation, it was to install one of these. You can see it fit on there very nicely. No slop or nothing. And his recommendation was to use a factory one on top because it's a little more, how should we say, durable. So if this bolt is really getting on it, we don't want to tear. Silicone is fairly pliable, obviously. We don't want to tear it up. So this factory bumper will offer some protection in place. And that's about it. Wow, it's so weird. I can actually, like, you can see it squeeze out. And this isn't a bad thing either. You know, if it may actually improve a little bit of efficiency, making a better seal back there. But that will have to come with testing. But as it stands, hey, that is a beautiful little piece there. It's something that definitely M17 needs. We need more aftermarket support, and I know he's working on some other stuff. But hey, that's a great start. I've always wanted something softer than these factory O-rings, so that's awesome. That's great. I got one now, and you guys can have one too. I'll put the links in the description, and the description is down below. Usually it's very hard to see sometimes. It says more, and you gotta click more, and the links are in there. So lots of times, I know you guys ask questions, and I try to link them. And if they are linked, they're gonna be in that tiny little description with the more there. You click and it's all good. So we'll load that back up in my M17. Both M17s, and here's a bonus. I can see it's a little bit, so I also run an FSC, you guys have seen, and I use the Milsig Valken bumpers in my FSC instead of the clear first strike ones. So, and normally I run 2 of these guys in there. Now, I don't know for sure, because these just squeak into the upper receiver, and you can see these are a little bit chunkier, but again, it might not be detrimental to the firing sequence. I don't know yet, but I will be testing these in my FSC as well. My only concern is possibly the thickness, because 3 of these in my FSC will cause the sear to miss. So this with one of these might be too thick, but these were designed for the M17. So I'm kind of gonna piggyback on trying them in my FSC. So no guarantees on that. Definitely works on your M17 bolt though. And he also sent me a ammo 6 68 caliber precision mold. And it's funny, when I was talking to Daniel and I said, you know, there's a reason why I haven't made my own ammo, and I got this crazy thing about everything being perfect. You know, it's a blessing and a curse, guys. But he sent me this anyways. And I don't know if they come loaded already with projectiles, but be damned if this one did. So I don't even have to make my first round. And these things are quite beautiful, actually. Very smooth. Bearing in the tip. I don't know anything about the projectiles that are in here right now. But I probably will get to shooting them. I don't even know what the bore size is on these. I think he told me this was the newer mold, so it's these should be smaller in size. I think 683, if I remember correctly. But I believe, so this mold is from HomeDefence-24, but obviously Daniel at Zram, him and Florian have some partnership going, so Daniel definitely has inventory of these, so you can check them out there. Again, I'll put the links in the description. But anyways, I want to say, once again, thanks to Daniel at Zram. And let's install this. And in a next upcoming video, you should see it firing. All right, I wasn't going to show you guys how to put this in, but I ran into one small little hiccup that is easily rectified. So, change your bumpers, pull your 2 cotter pins and the 2 washers, drop your pins, have your marker in. So, and this is where it's going to get confusing. If you're just changing the bumpers, well, let's just do it the way that you would service your marker. So in semi-auto, you kind of wriggle your doodad out, your heat core, and everything comes out. Your bolt is on the end and your spring is on the end, like that. So the problem that I ran into installing one of these was, because it was so pliable, and remember I showed me squishing the bolt against the face here. So what happened when I went to install this, just assembling it here, is the spring pressure pushing in against the bolt was swelling this to the point I couldn't push it into the end of the marker. So that's easily rectified. So here is how you do it if you run into that problem. Take your spring. Put your spring in. Take your bolts. Stick your finger in your bolts. Put your marker into safe. Actually, no, not yet. Put it in semi. Keep it in semi. Take your bolt, line it up, push it down like you're reassembling after a service. Pull your trigger and you can feel your bolt go by. Then put it in safe. What that's gonna do is it's gonna retain your bolt down there so that when you go to push your E-core back in, you can see, let's see if I get it in there a little closer. You can see it slid in no problem that way. No problemo. But what had happened to me, and let's see if it'll do it with a stock spring. No, actually it didn't. So the main culprit is my aftermarket spring. But this is a good point that if you do encounter a problem inserting these, just make sure to lock your bolt in first. We'll do that one more time. So you spring in, your bolt in, push your bolt forward, it's by the sear, put it in safe, and that's gonna retain your bolt in there so you're not actually pressing against your new silicone washer and causing it to expand. So if you have that problem, just do it that way. But it appears the factory bolt spring, you won't have that issue. All right, that's it.